What is up, guys, and welcome back to another top 10, and today I'm going to be naming 10 WWE wrestlers who will never become WWE Champion. These days it seems like there are limited people who will become World Champion. Back in the ruthless aggression era, almost every signed WWE wrestler had a good shot at becoming World Champion. We had John Cena, Randy Orton, Batista, Rey Mysterio, Edge, Jeff Hardy, and a lot more. Even the women too. Right back when Mickie James debuted on Raw in 2005, you could see that she was championship worthy, but these days it's different. You have maybe 9 to 8 guys who could become main eventers and world champions. For example, you have Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, Sasha Banks, Asuka, and Edge. And it's sad to see that these people are all former champions, and most of these have main evented pay-per-views and WrestleMania. WWE seems to be focusing more on the most experienced wrestlers instead of focusing on building up the future. Anyways, without wasting any time, here are the top 10 wrestlers who will never become WWE Champion. Now, I really hope that I'm wrong in this one. John Cena is one of the most athletic performers that WWE has right now. But depending on the situation he's in right now with The Miz, I just don't think that he will ever become WWE Champion. These guys had so much potential to become World Champion back in the late 2000s. He is a former Tag Team Champion and a former Intercontinental Champion. But The Miz, out of all people, is holding him back. The Miz's unseriousness seems to be rubbing off on him, because this past Monday night they made a music video called Hey Hey Hop Hop, which is one of the funniest segments I've ever seen. John Cena is a lot better than The Miz will ever be, no matter what they say. But I just don't see him becoming WWE or Universal Champion as long as he is with The Miz. But let's be honest here, he's not becoming WWE Champion anytime soon anyways. In number 9, we have Elias. There are so many reasons about Elias never becoming WWE Champion. Number 1 is that almost every time he goes to the ring, he does some sort of musical performance. And number 2 is that he is a mid-class talent. I don't see him becoming a champion in the WWE unless Intercontinental, United States, or the 24/7 Championship. And every time he has a feud, it's never against a champion. The only time I've seen him in a storyline against a champion was with Seth Rollins back in 2018, and I've never seen him in a championship feud. His rivalry with Jeff Hardy was also good, but I heavily doubt that he will ever be in the WWE title picture. He's good, but I don't see him being a main eventer anytime soon. I think this one is pretty easy. Now, I think we can all agree that Baron Corbin will never become WWE Champion. The closest chance he ever had to becoming World Champion was when he was Mr. Money in the Bank and he failed to catch in on Jinder Mahal to become WWE Champion back in 2017. He had another chance of winning the title, but he lost that match too. And after that, he's been on numerous feuds with top guys like the likes of John Cena, Kurt Angle, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, and even Braun Strowman. But even then, he's never been around the title picture, and I don't think that he will be anytime soon. So I can confidently say that Baron Corbin will never become WWE Champion. In number 7, we have Angel Garza. This really breaks my heart seeing how Angel Garza is being booked right now. I know WWE is busy with building up future superstars like Rhea Ripley and Damian Priest, but it's sad to see Angel Garza in the States. He's not being WWE Champion anytime in the future. Don't get me wrong, he's really talented, but the storylines he was having with flirting with other women like Charlie Caruso, Mickie James, and Charlie D'Amico on Monday Night Raw, even though he is engaged, is sad. But to be honest, I also do not see him becoming WWE Champion in maybe 6 years, because he still hasn't fully developed yet and still has a lot of challenges ahead before he's World Champion. And in number 6, we have Xavier Woods. Xavier Woods seems like someone who would be nothing more than a tag team guy like the Dudley Boys. Woods is the only one in the New Day who hasn't held a single championship. Kofi is the former United States Intercontinental and WWE Champion, while Big E is the current Intercontinental Champion. Xavier Woods will never become WWE Champion. He is too silly and to become a title holder. I mean, look at Big E. When he was with the New Day, he was too goofy, but after he got separated, Big E was more serious and won the IC title. So in my opinion, Xavier Woods will never become WWE Champion. I might be wrong, he might be World Champion in the next 6 or 7 years like Edge, but we will never know. Aleister Black is one of the most fierce strikers in the industry today, but Aleister Black hasn't been seen ever since his storyline he had with Kevin Owens in October of last year. I don't know if he is fired or just taking a break. I've heard that WWE is planning a big return for him, and I just don't see it happening. I think he's facing problems regarding Zelina's Vegas release last December, but I do think that if he's gonna return somewhere around August or September. But with all that said, Aleister Black will not become WWE Champion. As much as I want it to happen, I just don't think it's likely, because he's literally on the chopping block and on the line of getting released by the WWE. Now, Otis, I don't know what to say about all this. I don't think that he should be in the WWE. It's just plain and simple because he's just not WWE Championship worthy. A few interesting storylines he has had was with Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, and the one he's on with Chad Gable. But the only chance he ever had of even smelling the prestigious title was when he was Mr. Money in the Bank. He even lost his Money in the Bank contract to The Miz after his former best friend Tucker betrayed him. I also don't know where Tucker is right now. He's probably fired. I don't know, and I don't really care. So sorry all this, but I don't see you becoming WWE Champion. It's not that hard. In number 3, we have Dominic Mysterio. I'm just gonna tell it like it is. Dominic is not ready for the WWE. Don't get me wrong, he's talented, but I think that he should either retire early or just go to NXT and start afresh. Dominic and his father Rey are currently in a tag team together, which is really cool, and I think they're gonna have a SmackDown Tag Team Championship match against Dolph Ziggler and Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania. But if that doesn't happen, I really think that is a good idea for Dominic to consider retiring from in-ring competition, because I do not see him ever becoming WWE Champion in his short-lived career. And the second to last person I can think of who I don't see becoming WWE Champion in his entire career is Leon Ruff. Leon Ruff is currently in a rivalry which I'm not invested in at all with Isaiah Scott, and after he moves to the main roster, he's probably going to be a jobber to people much bigger than him, like Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and Sheamus, and a lot more. The North American Championship he won against John Cena a month ago is the only title he will ever win. He should try to get a little bigger so he can be taken more seriously, but other than that, after he moves to the main roster, he will just get demolished and beaten down by people like Bryan, because I don't see him becoming WWE Champion. And finally, we have our number 1 spot, which is Ricochet. Ricochet is one of the most athletic superstars to ever come to the WWE. He literally defies gravity every time he's in the ring, and that's one of the things that amazes me about him. But as talented as he is, I think we can already see for ourselves that he will forever be forgotten. He will not be becoming WWE Champion in his entire career. He had a chance to leave the company and go to somewhere else like Impact Wrestling or AEW, but chose the wrong choice. I know he's living the dream by working in his dream job right now, but I think he should have been smart enough to see that Vince McMahon isn't interested in him like he was back in 2019. I could see him becoming United States Champion again, but not World Champion. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching my video. I really appreciate it, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to follow me on Twitter. The link is in the description below, and I'll see you guys in my next video.